Hello guys, welcome back to my YouTube channel. My name is Runjay Patel. Guys, in this video I'm going to cover ACL, which is very important one. So whenever, like most of the time, we are dealing with the data. Okay, so if we are dealing with the data, then security will come into the picture. And if security will come into the picture, we have to take care of our data privacy, right? So all this scenario, it can be handled by a SEL. Okay, so this video is going to very beneficial for you. Okay, so before jumping into our practical example, I just want to discuss with background about the SEL, how SEL works and how we can define a SEL. Guys, after watching this video, if you will have any doubt, I have created a Telegram group over there. You can ask your doubt. That is only a group for clearing your doubts. Okay, so I will leave a link for that Telegram group in this description of this video. Okay, so anytime you can reach out to me via the Telegram groups, and you can either leave a comment if you have any doubt on that particular video. Okay, so let's understand how SEL works and what is SEL first of all. Okay, so let me open one document I have prepared only for this video. Okay, so first let's understand what is access control list, SEL. Okay, so if you'll go by the definition, it says an ACL control is a security rule defined to restrict the permission of users from viewing and interacting with the data. Most security settings are implemented using a access control. See here now, I have mentioned most security settings. Okay, most means like almost we can achieve the security setting via the SEL, but we do have some other mechanism, like we can display our data, like we can restrict data to display via the I can say a business rule. We can write a display business rule. Using that also we can restrict the data to display. Okay, but that I will cover in separate video. In this video I'm not going to talk about the business rule. Very soon I'm going to make a video on the business rule, which is there in our course content, right? So now let's understand, like most of the security setting we are implementing using ACL. So ACL become a very important one. Okay, they execute when attempting to access any ServiceNow table. Okay, and maybe set a row and column level. It means like whenever you are trying to access any data from the ServiceNow table, ACL rule will apply in background. Okay, if you have written any ACL, then that rule will apply. It first, a system will check whether the condition is matching or not. So suppose you have written a table level ACL and field level ACL. Don't worry guys, we will discuss each and everything in details. Okay, so here this is a row level ACL. Row level means like you are applying a ACL on your whole data, means particular object, row, a record object, that is called a row level. In other words, we can say it is a like a table level ACL. Okay, and the second one, most probably we will be dealing with the row level ACL and the column level ACL. Column level ACL means you are just defining your on some particular attributes. You don't want to share them, like take example of some financial attributes you have on the form. So you are working on the PPM module, project portfolio, and you have a project over there. Some financial details are there. So that should not be visible to everybody, right? So that way we can manage using a SEL. Okay, we'll see how we can write row level and column level ACLs. Okay, so now let's come to the operations, like what kind of operations ServiceNow perform. So it's basically a CRUD application. So CRUD means like create, C for create, R for read, U for update means write. SEL we have to uh, right? And the finally is the delete. This is the main four operations we will be dealing with day-to-day activity. Okay, but apart from this, like if you will ask me, apart from this these are the only four operations ServiceNow perform? No, question is no. We still have some others operations also apart from the crude operations. So let's see what those are. So those are like edit CI relations, okay, which apply on the CMDB CI table, save as templates, reports on personalized choice. So these are the others operations, okay, we can write. So but frankly speaking guys, as per my career as of now, I have not written any ACL related to this, like edit CI relations, all these things. I have only deal with these crude operations. I didn't get chance basically, okay, and you also will be not getting a chance to write a kind of this many ACL. Okay, so if requirement is very complicated and you need to write this kind of ACL, it's simple. Okay, we'll see in practical example the way we should write or create or read or update or delete ACL. We can write the same way for this one also. The purpose is for every types of ACL is different. If you will see here for edit GI relations, user cannot define relationship between configuration item. If you want to make a rule, that means users cannot define the relationship between the CI, then you have to write edit CI relations operations SEL. Okay, fine. I'm not going to talk about in details about these many. Okay, so in practical example also I'll be talking about these crude operations only. Okay, now let's check how SEL evaluation process works. Okay, so SEL evaluation process work on three parameter. Okay, first one is the role, second one is the condition, and third one is the script. So while creating a SEL, system will ask you to associate any role. Okay, so based on the role, yeah, SEL will evaluate. Okay, so first condition is the this one is the role association. Second condition would be here, if you applying a ACL on the incident form, just take example, then if some condition like you want to apply this ACL only for those records which is active. So what you have to do, you have to select from conditions active is equal to true. Okay, if you don't want to apply from the which is already completed or cancelled for those records, then that way you can define. So it's totally depend upon your scenario, how your client is asking to protect the data. Okay, now third parameter is the script. Like apart from like a role and the conditions, your scenario is something different which is not achievable by adding a role and the conditions. We need to do some scripting for that. Then you have to write your a script and you have to return either a true and false value. Okay, so these are the three parameter. Don't worry, in practical when we'll be creating ACL, we will see this parameter, how we can set this parameter. But the thing is, let's talk about, so first what it will be doing, like users request access to an object. So suppose, just take example, you have clicked on the incident. Under the incident we have all, right? That is the menu. So you have clicked on all, means you want to see the all data which belongs to incident table. So ACL for system will check for the ACL. If matching, then it will evaluate. First it will check roles, then condition, and then the script. Finally, if all three will get evaluated as a true, then you will have the access to that object. If any of them it will get failed, you will not get grant access to see those objects. Okay, cool. And one more thing guys here, if you are not associating any role, then system will treat that means by default true. Okay, if you have not done anything, you just created ACL, means by default you are creating a, you are granting access. Suppose that you have created a ACL, read ACL, and you have not associated any role, you have not given any condition, you have not written any script. So by default it will evaluate as a true. Okay, fine. Now let's move on. So don't worry guys, if you are getting confused over here, we will see when we will create our ACL in the practical example. Okay, so now next process is a process order for record ACL rules. Guys, this is very important one. Okay, so I'm going to spend much time on this to make you understand. Okay, once you understand this concept, that means you will not find any difficulty to write and debug your ACLs. Okay, so first thing, it is only the record based. Okay, so a user must pass both field and table level ACL rule in order to access a record object. Okay, it says means if you are trying to access any table, like I said in earlier example, like under the incident we have created one module, right? My incident. Under that my incident we have created the all incident. So if you are clicking on the all incident, means you want to see the data which belong, all data which belongs to that my incident table, correct? So if you have written any ACL, like a field level ACL or a table level ACL, then both has to pass. If anyone is getting failed, means you will not have access to those, means not a fully 100%. So if you are passing a like a table level ACL, means you can see the record, you have rights to see the record, but on top of that you have written some field ACL, means for accept that field you can see others data on that record, but for that field level ACL, if it is getting failed, you cannot see data to that particular mm, attributes. Okay, again if both is evaluated true, means you have a right to see the data, full data. Okay, now guys, let's understand, means you have done you have request for an object to see the data, right? It means you have clicked on the under the my incident application menu, there is a all over there, you have clicked it. Okay, let me show you what I'm trying to say. So here we have a my incident, right? So under the my incident you have clicked it over here. Okay, so right now only 3 records are there, so all the record is getting populated for you. Okay, so here you have clicked it, and now let's jump to our here. Then ACL rule, in background ACL rule will check, system will check the ACLs, right? So is there any ACL is applied on this table? And you know that how we can check that, we'll see in couple of minutes in upcoming series, we will see that how we can check that whether the ACL is applied on the particular table or not. Okay, now here ACL got find ACL rule matching object. So suppose the system will look for the ACL, whether the ACL is there for this table or not. So how they will look, first of all, so first it is mentioned here ACL name match tables. Okay, so first they will look for the table, if they didn't find, then they will look for the ACL name match with the parent table. If this also not there, then it will look for the ACL name match a star and question marks table. Let me give you the practical example so that you will understand clearly what does it mean by first, second and third. Okay, so now just take an example your village. Okay, to enter your village there has to be one gate, or that is the main gate. Okay, that is your here ACL name matches a star dot question marks over here, so that is your main. Second thing, once you will enter your village, may you have a society. Okay, again you have to enter the, like in your village different 2 3 societies are also there, right? So enter your society, you have to go to your society, so that is your parent tables. Okay, now once you will enter your society, means you can find many buildings, right? So which one is yours? So buildings in one society, suppose that 10 buildings are there, so you have to find yours building, right? So out of 10 you have to go to yours one. So same thing here it will apply. Okay, table means your home, and parent table means we are talking about the society. First they will check whether you have access to enter in your society or not, and on top of that whether you have access to enter your village itself or not. Okay, so suppose you have the access and now no match is find over here. So there, this kind of ACLs rules are not retained on the table. So no match find, then they will look for the inside, because your main objective to access the material which is there inside your home, right? So inside your home there would be a multiple rooms also. I'm coming to that point also. So here now you have the access to enter your house. Now you have entered your house, means there is no restriction, like it's open for everyone. So now you have entered in your house. Okay, now the moment you have entered your house, you want to look for some particular materials, right? So suppose you are looking for any x material. So first x material has to be there in some rooms, right? So in your home there might be a multiple room. Okay, and on that room might be a multiple things would be there. So you are trying to access a material which is there inside your room. Okay, so that is a field. So whatever the material it is there inside your room, that is your becoming a field over here. So first they will look for, how they will look for, SQL name matches table dot field. First they will look for the your home under the score under than your rooms. If they didn't find, then they will look for the parents, their parents. Okay, if they didn't find that, then they look for the society one, right? Once they didn't find, they will look for the your whole village kind of a stuff. So that's the process it will work over here. Okay, if no match found, you have the access, go. If there is no security, means everything is open for everyone, then you can go to anybody house and grab the things and you come out, right? If there is no security is there. If security is there, then you have to check whether you have a permission or not. Suppose that x material you are looking for, that is there for the like for different home, like your friend's home, your that material is present. So if you have access to your friend's home, then only you can grab that material, right? Otherwise no. So here the same thing will apply. If it is no match found, means there is no security, you have the access. If match found, based on the security, how security they your friend has applied on their home, based on that, if they have said okay, you are my very close friend, you have the access whatever things is there in my home, then you have the access, means pass. If it is fail, you don't have access, you cannot take that material. I hope it is clear to you, and in ServiceNow terminology I'll be discussing this thing only when where we will be writing a ACLs practical example. So in background ACL will work this format. Okay, hope you have got what I'm trying to deliver. If not, if you will be having any doubt, as I said earlier also, I have created a telegram group. Over there you can ask or you can leave a comment in this video section. Okay, now let's move on. So what kind of ACL we have to write? So access control definition rule types, it is there like a table dot none and table dot field and table dot star. Guys, table dot none, if you know ServiceNow, then you might be having a little bit idea about the ACL, and you might be aware about table dot none and table dot field. Table dot none means it will apply on the whole table, means that particular record. It says also no specific field selected. This rule apply to the whole table including all of its record. Okay, so whatever the record belongs to that table, it will a rule will apply to all the records. Okay, means you are applying a rule on your room to access anything, any material which is there inside your that room. Okay, but now the thing is, if you want to apply such kind of rule, then you have to go to table dot none, means on the your room itself. Now inside your room, suppose there are many things, but you want to restrict, like you have some ornaments also, right? So that ornament, for that protecting that ornaments, you want to double check, that means you apply your double security. Like first you have already applied on the room, but once anyone come inside the room, you want to for the ornaments only field, so you just apply the second rule, that is the field level ACL. Okay, so suppose I'm a authorized person to enter your room, and I don't have authorized to touch the ornaments fields. Okay, so I cannot see that even. So same thing over here, it is getting applied once you apply on the table, but on the table you have some financial related field and you don't want to show them, so you want to grant them access to see the record other details, like incident number, assignment group, assigned to person, requested for, description, short description, other details you want them to show, but the financial price, project price, all these things you don't want to show them. So for that you can apply a field level ACL, and you just grant the table level ACL and just skip the field level ACL. Okay, now table dot star, guys, this is a very confusion, like most of the initial developers, they might have confusion between the what is it different between table dot field and table dot star. Okay, both are field level ACL. Table dot field and table dot star, both are field level ACL. But if you are writing a table dot field, means you are selecting a particular field, and table dot star means it will apply on the all field. It means suppose just take an example, for same example like your room one, so you have written one ACL to enter in inside your room, right? Now you have applied one table dot field level ACL like this one. You have applied this, means you are restricting to apply for the ornaments to double check, but for this, like you want to protect each and everything, like whatever things are there inside your room, means whatever things are there only related to like ornaments and other stuff, that is very precious. Then what you have to do, you have to apply a table dot star. It will apply whatever things are there inside your rooms, it will apply all the attributes. Okay, so now let's understand in the ServiceNow terminology, means on the table we have applied the table dot none, means it will look for the whole data. Okay, now for table dot field, it will look for particular attribute or columns. Table dot star, it will apply rule for all the attribute which belongs to that table. Okay, kind of wildcard. So as you here mentioned, I have already mentioned wildcard. This rule apply to every field on the record without a table dot field rule. Okay, fine. Now, last thing I'll be talking about this. This is like how we can debug a ACL. How we can know, that means how to determine if a user has permission to create, read, and write on a extended table. How we can identify that? Most of the time if you are working for support, they will be saying, hey, I have this role, but I don't my friend see this record and I having the same role the way my friend is having, but he see, but I'm not able to see that. So could you please investigate, that means what is causing the, that means we are not able to see that record. Okay, so what you have to do, basically you have to debug the ACL. Correct. So this is the process I have written to debug the ACL. First you have to go to system security, debug security rule. Guys, one more thing I forgot to tell you in initially, like you will be only able to write if you have the security role enabled for you, and you have the security role on top of admin. Only if you have a admin role, you cannot write ACL on that. Okay, you must have a security underscore admin role, then only you can play with the ACLs. Okay, so the thing is, you have to get first access, like how you can check, that means whether I am having a security role or not. So first way, you can go and open your record and check that, and if you can see here elevate a role, then you will be having a security under underscore admin role. So this first you have to enable this, then only you can play with the ACL. So let me check, like I have not enabled as of now, and let me write the ACL. Where- So you have to go under the system security and you can find the access control. Okay, ACL. So here just type ACL. If you can see here, there is no new button for me. If I will open any one, it will not give me option to edit or do something, although I am having a admin access. Okay, now what I am going to do, I am going to just, okay, I have to refresh it again. So here I'm going to elevate that role. That means I have to enable this whenever I'm going to work with the security related stuff. So first I have to enable, and now you can see here new button is visible for me. I can create a new. Okay, guys, in this video only this much. In next video I'll be talking about totally practical example. Okay, so if you have any doubt, please leave a comment. I will try to answer it as soon as possible. Okay, thank you guys. I will see next part of this video. Hello guys, welcome back to my YouTube channel. My name is Runjay Patel. Guys, this video is continuous of previous video of ACL series. Okay, this is the second part of the ACL series. If you have not watched that first part, then please go and watch, because that is recommended and that is a prerequisite. We need to understand how ACL works in background. Okay, little bit more I have focused on operations, how ACL will apply and how it will get executed. Okay, so you will get a good concept over there in my previous video. Okay, in this video I'll be talking about practical example. We will check and we will have a proof like whether the ACL is working or not, and how ACL will work. Okay, so guys, first thing what you have to do, here you have to go and first you have to enable the elevate role here. Okay, as you can see for me it is already enabled. Let me show you, just disabled it. So here first you have to get the admin role. So let me tell you, admin role, on top of that admin role you have to have the this role, security underscore admin role. Okay, only person they can grant this security role to you if they have already have the security admin role. Okay, if they don't have, they will not grant, they don't have access to grant the security admin role. Okay, just take example, I have admin rights but I don't have the security admin role associated with my account. So if I will try to grant a security role to somebody else, then system will not allow to grant me that. Okay, so make sure that means you are asking your correct stakeholders to grant the security admin role to you. Okay, I'm hoping you have this role. Okay, now just enable this, then press OK. Then you can see here when lock is open now, means you are now free to write ACL. Okay, so there are various way to write ACL. First way, to just go to left navigation and type ACL, and we have to look under the system under security section. Okay, so system security is the menu. Under that menu we have a module called access control. In bracket they have written ACL. So we will be looking for this. So once you will click there, so it will redirect you to the page. Over there all the ACL will apply. Basically this is a ACL table. Okay, so if you are writing any ACL table, it will come and sit in this table. Okay, so here you can go, and if you have if you are seeing this new button, means you have the security privilege. Okay, if you are not seeing this button, means you don't have the, you have not enabled, you might have the security role but you have not enabled the security plug here, elevate role. Basically if you will not enabled it, you cannot see it over. Let me show you. So I'm just disabling it. See now, new role is new button is not visible for me. Okay, so make sure that means it is enabled. Now, on which table we are going to write ACL? First, the second way we have to navigate that way. So in this case, let's take our example for our menu itself, my incident. So we are going to play with this table basically. So as of now, there are only 3 records. So I'll be not going. Most of the time over there, I have to write ACL like suppose that I have to write ACL on incident form. So most of the time I will be going on the incident form and just doing a right click on the right click on the, if you are on the list view, and then just click on any of the attribute and go to configuration and go to your security roles over here. Okay, click that, it will redirect you to your security page. Okay, security ACL page. So another way, you can be on the form, right click, go to configuration and go to security. Okay, so it's up to you how you are going. So let me go through this list view and let me click it. Okay, so why I'm coming through this, I didn't go directly from here because I want to see how many ACL is already running on my incident table. Okay, so that was the main agenda, to come here on the form first list. It doesn't matter whether you are on the list view or form view. Okay, so here we wanted to check how many ACL is already running on this table. Okay, so if you can see as of now 55 ACL is already applied on this table. So if you'll say, hey Runjay, as of now we have not written ACL, I have watched your all video and we have not written any ACL. So if you have remember, while creating a module, a system has already written a 4 ACL for us, that is the crude, right? Read, delete, create and write. We have talked about this in our previous video, right? So system already, while creating a table itself, they have defined one role itself and they have created for you. So just let me just do the matching. So okay, I'm only interested on this table. Okay, so u underscore mine underscore incident is our table name, right? So let me open this table, sorry, let me open this record. It will show the how we have applied the ACL, and we will be discussing about this attributes as well. Okay, so first thing is the this is the type is the record. Okay, basically this will going to apply on the record, so type is record here. Okay, we are not doing anything apart from the record. Okay, so now operation, so what kind of operation you are going to write, like read, create, write or delete, and some other operations we have talked about, right? If you are going with the edit CI relation, means it will prevent your CI relations creation, right? So it's up to you how, based on your scenario, which types of operation you are going to write. Okay, so and right now we are interested for the these these 4 main operations, right? Read, create, write and delete. And most of the time, 99% of the time, we will be dealing with these 4 operations only. Okay, fine. So in this case we have already 4. So I have opened the read one. Okay, so here the activities there. Admin override. Admin override says means whether you are going to allow to admin or not. Means if admin logged in and they wanted to check this role for admin or not, so that it's mean like admin override. So if you are allowing this, means it will escape this SEL and they will see the record. Okay, if you are not checking this checkbox, means you are telling, hey, it doesn't matter whoever it is coming, if they are admin also, I want to apply this rule. So on that case, what you have to do, you have to uncheck your this checkbox. Okay, guys, best practice is like you just overwrite like make sure that means this checkbox is checked, because most of the time we need to do a debugging, right? So if you are working for like a support engineer, so that time you have to check in the background, and you have not applied this override rule to admin, so now you will check, right? You don't have even rights to see the record. Okay, on that case you have to might have to support to ServiceNow support team, like using a high account. Okay, here name, here it is this column, it says here we have to select the table basically. So all the table is listed on here. You just type in, you can just using a type, it will come up over here also. Okay, so based on the type all the tables will list down over here. So you have to select the your correct table on each table you are going to apply. In this case we are going to apply on the my incident table, correct? Now this one is the table. Now this is a field. If you will just mouse over it, if I'm doing it, just you can see here fields, here it is saying tables. So in the first box you have to select the tables here. I'm so sorry. So here you have to select the tables. So in the first box, uh, here in the first box table is there, and in the second box we have to select the fields. Like in previous example we have talked, right? Like rooms, and inside the rooms details. So same way. Fine. So, and we have talked about three types of SES, like table dot none, table dot star, and table dot filled. Okay. So, if you have remember, we have talked about table dot none, table dot filled, and table dot star, and we have talked about also like how are these are different to each other, right? So, table dot none will apply on the whole record on that particular table. Table dot field means you are targeting to a specific field on that table, and table dot star means you are targeting to all the fields which belongs to your selected table. Okay, so first we are going with the none. We are going to apply a read operation on the table level ACL. Okay, and on here you can define the description, what is meant by this ACL and what it is going to do as or like description. You just so that any users coming and like you have defined your ACL and left out the organization. So and you have written a very complicated script. Okay, and that script is like they has to gone through, then they can understand what is the purpose of this ACL. Okay, so on that case you can define what is the purpose of this ACL in the description box. Okay, now guys, here we were talking about the three parameter, right? So here the three parameter means like we are talking about the access control rules allow access to a specified resource if all three of the checks evaluated true. Remember we have talked about the roles and conditions and the scripts. So they are also talking about the three. If all three parameter are evaluated to true, then only you will have the access, otherwise you don't. Okay, so now first section is the role, right? So here we are defining a role. Is for by default it is taken like u underscore my underscore incident underscore user. This is a role. If you have this role, then only you can access the record, we are telling. Now suppose just take an example, like we have another role called ITL. Okay, we have a ITL role. So what it will do, system will check for the or condition. So it will look for the logged in user whether they have a my incident users role or ITL role. If any of this role logged in user they have, it will evaluate as a true. Whole it will evaluate as a true. Okay, so if you have included the 10 roles in this section, requires role section, then among 10, if logged in user have any roles, they have the access to that. Okay, means from this section system will evaluate as a true. Okay, so I'm not going to do that. Okay, here now the second parameter we have talked about, that is the conditions. right? So here the conditions we have to define based on the selected table above, right? So here we are selecting a tables, right? So whatever the attributes are present on this table, that will reflect over here. So like if we want to apply a active only for those record which are active, or only for those record which are non-active, like a false means completed or cancelled record kind of a stuff. So if you have a simple and it can be achievable by your condition, then you can just apply to. In this example we are not going to apply a condition, but yeah, Runjay, here where is the um, what can I say, a skip tag. We are not finding the skip tag. So what you have to do, we have to, if you can see here, here is the advanced, right? So advanced is not checked. So once you will check the advanced, that a skip tag is visible for you, right? So here we are going to write some simple script like a 1 or 2 line of code which will restrict to display the record. So now let's talk about one scenario. We want to display the record if user having my u underscore my underscore incident underscore users, means this role. If a user having this role, or a script evaluated as a true, if both conditions are satisfying, then only we want to allow them access. Okay. So in the script tagged, what I'm going to do, I'm going to write one condition so that it will evaluate true or false. Okay, it's very simple. Let me write it down, and later I will discuss each and everything in details. Okay. So first I'm taking one variable called answer and just hard coding it false. So by default false, and I'll be checking the if condition. In if condition I'll be checking gs dot get users. Don't worry, let me write it down. I will explain each and every steps. Okay. And dot has role. Okay, has role itil underscore admin. It's okay, then answer is equal to true. Only 3 lines of code. Okay, now let me save first. Okay, to be on safe zone. Now here reloading it the page. Okay, now answer is equal to false. So by default I'm telling to the system answer is equal to false, return the false value. But the second line it said if gs dot get users dot has role this, it means what I'm trying to say to the system, please check logged in, whoever the logged in user, means gs dot get user, it will give me the logged in user object. Okay, so once we will have the object, using that we can check whether they have this role or not. Has role is the function of gs dot get user object. Okay, so this has role function, it will check, it will ask for the parameter. If you have a concept like calling a function, same thing, I'm passing a string parameter over here. Okay, and a string parameter I'm passing as a role. Okay, itl underscore admin is the role, so I'm passing. So this till here it's one object, it will give me the logged in users. Okay, whoever the logged in user, this dynamic way we are getting a logged in user. And then we are checking here, if you have this role, then please return true or false value. Okay, so what this function does, this will look for your record and it will check whether you have the itl admin role or not. If they find any record related to ITL underscore admin role, it will return as a true. Otherwise, it will return as a false. Okay, so once it will return as a true, by default, if evaluated as a true. If evaluated as a true means it will execute this one line of code. I'm just ignoring this parenthesis. Okay, not required if you are writing a one line of code, right? If you are writing a multiple, then you have to use that parenthesis, right? So I hope you are aware of it. Okay, so on that case, so if it logged in user have this role, it will return the true value. Okay, now let us save it for double check. Okay, now we have to impersonate, we have to log in with the two account, right, to check, to validate this whether it is working or not. So for that, let me, if you have watched my previous video, then we have created the groups, right? We have created the two groups. One is the manager group, help desk manager, one is the users group. Okay, so in the managers group we have a 10 people associated to this. Okay, and on that 10 people I'm going to impersonate with this users. Okay, help desk manager is the one of user. Okay, let's check the roles. Okay, they have the itl admin, this role and this role. Okay, these are the custom roles only. Now let's check this group, this help desk users group. They have only one users, this users, and the role is ITL role and this role. Okay, so this user doesn't have the ITL underscore admin role, correct? If they don't have, we are expecting, means if this user logged in, means this guy will log in into the system, they cannot see incident which belongs to that, right? That is the ACL says. Correct, here we are defining if you don't have, and the ACL execute, how it will execute, if any of three it will get failed, you will don't have access to that record, right? So if a this role is this section is failing, okay, if this section is failing, or this section is failing, or this section is failing, if any among of three anyone is getting failed, means you don't have access. Okay, fine. So now let's impersonate with that users. Okay, let me show you help desk users. Okay, and just navigate to my incident. Here I'm clicking on here all incident. You can see here no record is visible for him, this guy, right? So now let's impersonate with this guy. Help desk manager. Under that help desk manager we have one guy called help desk managers, right? So if we will impersonate with that help desk manager guy, he they can see that. So let me impersonate with this help desk manager guy, and I'm just going to refresh it. Boom, right? They can see, right? So we have seen like how we ACL we can write it, right? So we have restrict our data, we have done our some kind of privacy. That means if you don't have this role, you are not allowed to see the records. Okay, so here we have seen that, right? So this is a one simple example I have given. We can take a many example like you may, your client ask you to please create a SCL to restrict you just want only want to display the data belongs to your group and created by you. If incident or something is created by you and created by your group member, then those incident only can visible to you. Okay, so how you have to do that? Again, you have to write a read ACL again here, and in the description section you have to check. We have like is a member of, so we have like gs dot get user dot is a member of. Okay, and here you can just define your group details. Okay, it will give you the, if your person belongs to this group, then only they can have the access. Okay, so it's up to you how you are how what kind of scenario you are having. Based on that scenario you have to write your logic. Okay, so logic you have to build it. Guys, for this video only this much. If you have any doubt, then please reach out to me over the telegram group, or in this video also you can refer it. In next video, that is the part 3 and the last one, over there we will check how to write a field ACL and how we can debug any ACL. Okay, if the person is not having access, then how we can check means where ACL is getting failed, what kind of ACL it is getting failed, whether the read ACL is getting failed or write ACL getting failed. Okay, we will check in the third part and the last part of this ACL series. Okay, thanks guys, thanks for watching. See you in the part 3. Hello guys, welcome back to my YouTube channel. My name is Runjay Patel. Guys, this is the part 3 and this is the last series of the ACL. Okay, in this video I'll be covering how to create a field level of ACL, and finally we will check to how to debug any ACLs. Okay, so in previous example we have seen, like in my previous video we have seen that how we can write a table level ACL, right? So in this we will just continue from there itself. So here, if you have not watched my previous, I will recommend you to go and watch that first. Just for remind, let me just navigate to the ACL. So for that, let me first open to my incident. And okay, so first we have to enable this security elevate rules, and then just refresh it. I'm just going to security rules here. So here in the read ACL, as you can see here, so this was the ACL we have modified it, okay, in my previous video, correct. Now this was the record level. So what I'm going to do, we are going to write same ACL like a read ACL, but that would be on the field level ACL. Okay, so our use case is, so for same, let me open it first. Groups, sorry, groups here. So in this group we have defined one role, right? So for this users, we have allowed them to see the record, right? So now let's talk about some specific attribute which belongs to that my incident table. So let me open one record also, my incident. So as you can see here, here is the one price field. I have created one price field, like to just apply a field level ACL on this table, this attribute. Okay, we don't want to all of the record. We want to show them to users who belongs to this help desk manager, except this price. Okay, so fine, how we can do so? So what we have to do, we have to go and we have to, sorry, here right click and just right click the new one here. This time type would be the record, read ACL. Here admin override is fine, and here I'll be selecting the table, so my incident, correct, and here I'll be selecting a field called price, right? So price, on this price field I want to apply the ACL. Okay, so using role we can apply, we'll just look for the any simple role which they don't have. Suppose any, okay, just let's check for the ITA till only ITL admin. Okay, so let's check any other. So let's check for the CMDB. Okay, so CMDB, this, let's apply this rule. No, might be having it because a ITL will inherit many roles, so I'm just worried about that. And let's check for the admin related. Okay, problem admin, I'm just for taking example, or just we can create a roles also, but I'm just going to use a problem, or it's better to create one role. Just for this example, what I'm going to do, I'm going to create a uh, underscore my incident underscore price. Okay, fine, I've created, fine. So if I'm not going to apply any. Okay, so yeah, I'm going to tell, see, if you have this role, then only you can see the this price data. Okay, I'm not going to apply any scripting over here, so it's already unchecked. So I'm just going to save this. So once you'll save this, it will show you what kind of ACL you are applying. Here is the read on which table, label row label is the on table, and the field level is here. Okay, it will add it. So it's very simple. We have created one ACL, read ACL, and read ACL, and that is on the field. Okay, that is on the price field. So now let's navigate with that particular users. Okay, help desk manager, and we'll see. We'll try to refresh this same form. As you can see here, now this field is not visible for them. Price field is not visible for them. Right? If you will create on my incident, if you will click on the new also, you can see here it is not visible. Correct? Means that ACL, and because the this role they don't have, right? This role, help desk manager, they don't have that role. Correct. So this is the field level ACL we can apply on any particular field. And the table data star, it will look for the all the table. As it is looking for only one attribute, it will look for the whole attribute of that particular table. So it's again based on your scenario. If you want to write a star table data star, then you do so. Like it's very rare to do that table data star, but yeah, of course, if it is there, means on certain scenario we have to write that. Okay, so I hope you understand what is table level ACL and what is the field level of ACL and how it will get evaluated over here. Fine. Now, last thing in the this ACL series, I wanna talk about the how we can debug the ACL. Okay, so if we don't have access, how we can check whether for which ACL it is getting filled. Okay, so now just let and just end the impersonation. We have to again enable the elevate rule. Okay, and now what I'm going to do, I'm going to just write debug security. Okay, so under this system diagnosis, here you can find the debug security. Okay, just open this. Okay, so now debugging is already started. Here we can check it. So now what I'm going to do, I'm going to just impersonate with what can I say, same users and that help desk users, and will look for the my incident. Okay, so as you can see here, no record is display, but here the ACL which is already applied, it is displaying me everything. So we have to look for the red one. We have to go down. Yeah. So here you can see here one ACL is getting failed. If you will just here, this is the record type u underscore. Let me just make it little bigger. Right, so here it is saying u underscore my incident u price, like that. Okay, right. So if you can see here this one, then here this record level ACL u underscore my underscore u dot u underscore price, that is slash read, means it is result is RC is equal to false, right? You don't have access. In down also we have price, all this thing, right? So okay, let me just do it more here. See how many ACL got failed. So we have to look for that. Okay, it's better to just type control F and read ACL. So hope so. There are many. We have to look only for the red one. Okay, means green means you have the access and red means you don't have access. So some UI policy business rules also read here. We have to look for our table level ACL also. So we have seen that one field level ACL is already got failed. So here you can see here. So let me make it a little bigger. So here record label, right? So till here. Okay, if you can see here, then RC is equal to getting false. Correct. So this is the path. Hey, here is the record event discover incident read label of ACL, and the this record you don't have means they have given the false. On this record also they have given the false. On this record also you have system has given the false. Means unfortunately you don't have access to these three records. So likewise, if a table having a n number of record, n number of time it will come as a RC is equal to false. Okay, I hope you got it here. Fine. So this is the way we can debug any ACL, and again we have to impersonate, and you should not keep this debug open. So you have to just go and disable the debug. So just type the debug and enable and disable would be there. So disable all, it will disable your all. Okay, hope you are clear with now ACL concept. So you have talked about how we can apply your table level, field level, and how we can debug the ACL, each and everything in all three part of the ACL series. Okay, guys, if you have any doubt, again I'm telling, please reach out to me. I will try to answer it as soon as possible. Okay, and you can leave a comment also if you need. And guys, please don't forget to subscribe and like my channel. Okay, thank you so much. Hello guys, welcome back to my YouTube channel. My name is Runjay Patel. Guys, in this video, I'll be talking about UI policy in details. We will see each and everything about the UI policy, like when we can write a UI policy, if you have written some client script, whether we have to convert client script to UI policy, or which one is the better, and which one will get apply when like your client script and UI policy both got collapse. So which one, which rule will apply? We'll see each and everything, and in the last we will see how we can debug a UI policy. Okay, that is a very important. If some rule is conflicting, you can go and you can just debug the UI policy and you can check that, right? So we'll see each and everything, so just be with me till end of this video. Okay, don't leave a video in middle of it. Okay, so let's jump to the now practical example. Now let's talk about one scenario, because in my each video I'll be talking about the scenario, right? So let's talk about we have one form. I'll be talking about the same, like my incident, right? If you have watched my previous video, you will be much aware about this menu, application menu, right? So we have created. If not, please go and watch that first. Okay, so we have a incident, that is a my incident. So let me open it. Here I want to apply one rule, that whenever a state is open, if it will from pending, if it will come from open, then requested for should be a logged in user, like that. So if a state is something like close complete, then some field has to be mandatory, like that. So let's talk about one scenario. If incident is going to open a state, then we are going to make this field pre-populated, like we have to, whoever the logged in user, we can populate the value in the requested for. Okay, just a simple example. This is, I'm not talking about like this has to be applied when you will be working on the your client environment. It's not like that. Just for learning purpose, I'm telling that if this condition will match, then we will apply one UI policy. Okay, and now before applying, it's matter which one we should write, because both will run at the client side, right? UI policy and client type script both are at the client side script. So which one we should write, because we can achieve this while writing a client script as well as the UI policy as well, right? So which one is the best approach to do so? So here, best approach to do so to write a UI policy. Why? Because we will try to avoid writing a code. Okay, going forward, ServiceNow says less code. Whatever the things you are going to develop, you have to try to minimize your code. Means as much as possible you can just do your customization. Okay, don't write a whole lengthy code and too much code. Okay, so that's the main goal. So that's why we are not preferring the client script, and we are preferring the UI policy. Okay, and if we will talk about like which, if someone has written the UI policy and client script and same rule is getting applied, means there is a rule conflict between UI policy and client script, then guys, precedence will take the client script first. Client script will run and then UI policy will run. So if same rule you have written, one in the client script and one in the UI policy, then whatever the UI policy rule you are applying, that rule will get applied. Okay, so now let's check it. Now it's very easy to create a UI policy. So there are many ways we can create it. Either my best way approach way to, if you have open your form, then just go to configuration and then click the UI policy over here. Okay, so let me click this. So it will redirect you to the UI policy table, which all listed related to your table, which you have now came from. Like we have opened the incident, and now from incident itself we have went for the UI policy. So all the UI policy which is related to your table, that one only. So here it is showing a task table because it got inherited from the task table. Okay, to click new UI policy, you have to click new button over here. From the net navigation also you can go, you need to type a UI policy. Okay, so under the system UI you can find the UI policies over here. Okay, so from both way you can go. So now here we have to provide our table name. You know that the benefits of, while once you will on the form and you are going to any configuration, so by default your table would be selected. So here our table is already selected. So here we just need to give the name. So what is the purpose for this UI policy? So like make it name as a requested for mandatory. Okay, if you want to write a script, then you can just check it this one. Otherwise we should avoid writing a script. Okay, so let's understand this when to apply concept over here. So condition, if you want to apply a condition, all the here attributes will come related to your table selected. Okay, if you are selecting any other table, so whatever the attribute would be present on that table, that will list down over here. Okay, so in our case we are applying this UI policy on my incident table, right? So let's select our scenario was when a state is right, when a state is open, then we want to apply this UI policy, right? So now there are a couple more things guys over here. You can see here, this is the global. If by default it is selected, it means that this UI policy will apply on your view. Means every view, whatever the view you will be applying on the form, for those all view this UI policy will be applicable, right? If you remember, we have one video on the view and view rule, how we can create a multiple view, right? So if you are unselecting, if you want to create a UI policy only for like a single view, then you can do so here. Just uncheck the global and you just select your view name over here. Okay, so this UI policy, you remember, like we have created a help desk manager of views, right? So if you want to do so, it's up to you how you are doing a configuration. Okay, so this is for all this will apply. If you are checking the global, it will apply for all view. Okay, this one, it said apply the UI policy action when the form load, means if you are unchecking it, it will not run this UI policy while loading the form. So it's always advisable, that means you can select this on load checkbox is checked. Okay, so third one is the reverse if false. So if you are making this, we will see that, means here if you will make over here, you can see here there are executive true, a executive false. Okay, so if you are if you are unchecking this, means that will not get applied. So whatever the rule you are applying, if it is not related to a script basically, so if it is uh, unchecked, means if you applied to make a mandatory field, and if this condition will not match, so it will not reverse the order. Okay, it will not make that unmandatory, like it will not leave the read only and unmandatory, whatever it is. Okay, so if you want to apply to that, means if condition will match, apply X, otherwise Y, then you have to check this reverse if false. Okay, and now last one, this is the inherited, means like if you want to, if we are applying this UI policy on a my incident table. Okay, and you want to inherit this UI policy when someone is going to inherit this my incident form. Okay, if you want to do so, then you have to check this here, inherit one. Okay, in future, like if someone is inheriting this table, then your this UI policy will also get inherited. Likewise, like we have seen one UI policy, right, related to task, because that UI policy they have made it as a inherited over here. So it's not like it's up to you. If you want to make in future this to be inherited, just make this checkbox checked. Okay, and now this UI policy will give us to write our script as well. Okay, so here we can write our script. So we will be avoiding to write a script, because if we are writing a script only doing via the script, then why you don't write a client script, right? Whenever it is not possible, then only we can write a script. Okay, fine. So if you are writing a script here, it will ask you, that means it will apply for desktop, mobile, service portal, or both, means mobile application and for desktop both. So always keep whenever you are writing a script, then apply for all. In this case, let's check it out. We will be writing one script, and we will be writing one UI action as well. Okay. So as of now, let me save this form first. Okay, so right click on the header and click on the save, so you will be on the same page. I forgot to tell you one more thing, guys. Here order, if you are aware about the order, it means less order having a prior execution, means two UI policies there. One is having a 90 order and one is having a 100, so 91 will execute first. Okay, so that is the order concept over here. Now, first let's make one UI policy action, because we want to make a mandatory, right? So here, just make click on the new, and by default your table would be selected over here, and the field name you have to select what you want to apply. So we are going to apply on the requested for, right? So we have to look for the requested for. Here is the one. Okay, now what you want to do, as this is the application, means we are working on the global application. So this is the global application, by default is selected. If you are working for any scoped application, so that scoped application it will come over here. Okay, mandatory, we want to make a mandatory, we just make it mandatory true. Okay, we don't want to do a visual and read only and clear the field value. We don't want to do that, we just leave it, leave alone and leave alone. Okay, so here clear value means, let me give you example, like if you want to on x condition you want to clear the y field value, then on that case you can just apply over here. If I will say okay, so clear the value means whenever it will make a mandatory with, they will remove the value whatever it would be there. Okay, so I'm not going to do that, so I'm just going to make a mandatory over here. Okay, and now we will cross verify that form is getting a mandatory or not. So let me create one ticket, create new. Okay, so we'll fill a little details over here, and assignment group. As you can see here, by default requested for is become mandatory because a state is open, right? So we have to fill some data, and let's save this. So it's validated, right? So if I will go to one work in progress, then this assigned to is getting mandatory. So let me save this, and I will show you some our requested for the step. So okay, so once it is work in progress, let me go back to open. So as you can see here, now this is becoming a mandatory, right? So our rule is getting applied on this requested for. So here mandatory it is becoming over here. Okay. Second thing, guys, this is nothing like we cannot talk much about UI policy. Like it's very easy, but one more thing I would like to highlight over before completing this video. So how we can debug means we want to debug whether like our UI policy is working as expected or not, right? Sometime what it will happen, it will maybe some other properties breaking our functionality, means other functionality someone has written, and that is breaking our functionality whenever you are writing a UI policy. It doesn't mean like only UI policy, or like any, if you have written a client escape business rule, so how we can debug those. Okay, so this is a very very important one which I want to cover in this. So I wanted to make a separate video on debugging, but I thought no, it's like a, let's make it in this video itself. So it will not take much time, guys. So in 5 minutes we can complete it over here. So what we have to do is just type a debug. Okay, because I want to debug the our UI policy. So let's check how we can do so. So in the left navigation, just type a debug and just look for the debug UI policy over here. So as you can see here, for security, for everything, text search, here is the UI policy. Okay, so let me just click it over here. So as you can see here, now it's debugging is started. Okay, now let me open the incident form. We have to look for the watchers, right? So let me just right click. Guys, one more thing, yeah, so this one I wanted to show you. I have a right click over the like on the dictionary form, but here I cannot see the watch field, right? Watch u underscore requested for it should give me that, so that I can do the watch, right? So if option is not giving, how we can check that? Okay, right? So what you have to do, guys, once you will open in the new tab, then watch will not will be available for you. So what you have to do, open, you have to open it in the same tab when where left navigation is there. Okay, so I don't know why this is happening, guys, but this is to let me show you right away here. So let me open any incident, this one. So if now I will do right click, now this time we can see the watch over here, right? But when I am doing it over here, it is not available, right? It is not the, and this is in the new tab, right? and the reason behind this how they have ServiceNow design that even I didn't understand. I did my R&D. I tried to discover why it is not available in the new tab, but unfortunately I didn't find the root cause over here. But the thing is, you have to open it in the same window like where the left navigation would present. So there you will be getting it. Okay, fine. So now let's apply the watcher, because we wanted to see how it is, how we can debug our anything like ACL or UI policy, client script. So once you will enable your watcher over here on this field, we have enabled it. So here you can see here field watcher and JavaScript logs, whatever it would be there over here. So all the logs which is related to your form would be there. Okay, so here guys, this section it will give you the table details idea, like a table is my incident element is requested for, we are doing a watcher, right? So if you can see here, requested for, we are doing a watcher. This is a reference kind of page which is reference to user. So this is basically a details about your watcher, and what we are applying right now, we are applying the UI policy one. If you want to apply for all, then you have a all checkbox, it will check for all, but right now we wanted to check only the UI policy. Fine guys, for that let me rephrase this, means reload the form, and then we will see how our UI policy is getting debugged over here. Okay, so as you can see here, blue it will say means we are your debugging means UI, because of this UI policy something happened, right? This one. So here we received two fields over here. Let's check it now. So this will give you idea, that means requested for mandatory. So requested for mandatory is our UI policy, right? Correct. So requested for mandatory is our UI policy name, and here the value, whatever the value is getting changed here in the right side, we can see it over here. Okay, mandatory set for false. Okay, now let's check the second one, what it is saying. It is a mandatory set for false over here, requested for, right? So as you can see here, right now there is no mandatory. So let me do what I will do. I will just do it, move it to open. So the moment I said open, as you can see here, mandatory set to true, right? Means here we can check line by line basically, so what is happening on this particular field. Okay, so this way we can you can debug any type of configuration like SCL, data policy, reference qualifier, business rule, client script, UI action, data lookup, and workflow activities. Okay, I hope guys you are clear with now UI policy concept. Okay, this is a very simple one. I have taken this example. Okay, and this is very simple. It's not hard and fast. The only things you have to keep in your mind, try to avoid writing code. Okay, wherever it is possible, and you wanted to do some manipulation over the form, means whether you have to go for the client script or the UI policy. So related to mandatory, read only, and read only, set values kind of stuff, if you want to do, you can hide, and so you can go for the directly go with the UI policy. Don't write a client script. But the thing is, whenever it is required, the thing when we can use the client script, if you will ask me, then I will say, suppose if you want to check the previous value based on your conditions, so in the UI policy there is no such kind of options. So on that case we have to write a client script, right? So previous value you cannot check in the UI policy. Correct. I'm hoping guys you have now concept about the UI policy, and when we can write a UI policy and when we can write a client script. Thank you. If you have any question, you know that we have a Telegram group to clear your doubt. Thank you guys. Thanks for watching. Hello guys, welcome back to my YouTube channel. My name is Runjay Patel. Guys, in this video I'll be talking about data policy. In last video we have seen how we can create a UI policy, right? So data policy is just a reverse of UI policy. right? So UI policy work on the form like at the client level, but the data policy work at the server level. Okay, so we will see like how we can write data policy and how we can convert from UI policy to our data policy, and we'll check the scenario as well. That means on which scenario we should write a UI policy and data policy. Okay, so let's check it out now here. So let me open the form, same like ours, so my incident over here, and let me open one more here. Best way to go to configuration. So here we have a data policy. Okay, so just click on the data policy. Yeah, as of now there is no data policy written on this table, so let us click on new button. Okay, so let's first understand the concept over here. I'm not going to create as of now, so just let's understand. So first thing is the table name on which table you are going to apply a data policy. Okay, and before that guys, let's understand like why we need a data policy. If UI policy is already in place, then why we are talking about the data policy, right? So guys, the thing is if you are writing a UI policy, that will work only on the form. Okay, and if you want to make sure, that means one more thing guys over here. So here this is the list view. So suppose we have applied one UI policy, right? Let me open that UI policy for you. So go to configuration, just go to UI policy, correct? So this one we have written in our previous class, right? So this UI policy we have written, which will responsible to make a mandatory or requested for, it will make a mandatory whenever the state is open. So we are telling to the system, hey, whenever a state is open, you have to fill the requested for. So let me bring the requested for in the list view so that you can understand what I'm trying to say over here. So requested field, I bring it up over here, and as you can see now, if it is open over here, let me open this. Okay, so if I am on the form, it will not allow me to save the form, right? Because it will ask, that means please fill the requested for over here. Okay, so I filled it and I will save this. That's okay, my job is over. But nowadays developer is very smart. What they will do, if you are a developer, so then what you will be doing, if a ticket is assigned to you and then see what you will be doing, that if a state is open, okay, so from form it is not allowing. So what I will be doing, I will be going to the list view, and I'll be changing the, I will be not writing, like I will remove this field basically. So here if I will remove this and will save that, then it will take, right? So that should not be the case. One place you are asking that requested for has to be mandatory, but I'm a like a very smart guy, so what I'm going to do, so I redirected to list view and I have removed my name from there. So that should not be the case, right? So for that, to overcome this kind of scenario, we can write our data policy. Okay, or we have another concept, like we can write a client script. You know that which client script we are talking about, right? You have to think about it. I'm talking about that there are four types of client script. One type of client script which will help me to not edit the field on the list view. Okay, so if you don't know, then please go and watch my client script video to check that which client script I have to write if you we want to restrict it to get modified from the list view. Okay, fine. So in this case, what I'm going to do, I'm going to write a data policy. So what I'll be doing, so I have a UI policy. I'll be saying, hey, I want one UI policy, one data policy. I'll be saying, hey, no, yeah, why you want to create a two? So if you will be write a data policy over there, we have an option to check whether you want to run this data policy as a UI policy or not. That's not a good idea, right? It's a good idea. correct. So yeah, so instead of writing a UI policy, we can write our data policy, so it will solve our purpose at the client side as well as the server side. So suppose now you have already written your UI policy, now you want to delete and you want to create a data policy. ServiceNow says no, stop over here. We have given you provision to convert your UI policy to a data policy. If you have not written any UI policy, go simply over here and you just type data policy, and you can write right over here under the system policy rules. You can get it over here. So from here, if you have not written, but if you have already written and you wanted to convert it, so no need to delete it, okay, or no need to deactivate it, but just convert it to uh, convert this to data policy. Let me show you, zoom right here. So I'm just going to click, it will create one data policy for me, correct. So now message came like new data policy created from the UI policy, right? Isn't good? Right. So now let's talk about these attributes when we are talking about the directly creating a data policy, right? Same thing, it will appear over here. So there are a couple of things which need to be discussed over here. Why we are writing our data policy, it will help in others situations also. Suppose you are inserting a data using a import set, like you have written a data source and through the Excel you are uploading a data. I wanted to insert a data in our table, and the same thing like we want a mandatory value, but you are not passing the mandatory value. That time this data policy will prevent you to do a insertion or updation. Okay, so it's really helpful. That means from wherever it data is coming, it doesn't matter what is the source, whether you are just manually entering, whether you are just doing from the import set, whether you are doing from the soap, like if you have done any integration, or as a UI policy on the client, right? So here as use as a UI policy as a client means it will take care of your form level also. Okay, so this will take care of your form level, so no need to write a separate UI policy if you have written a data policy, because anyhow if you are restricting from the server level, you want to do the same activity at the client level, so that data when will come from the client, it should come a proper way, right? So hope you understand this apply to import set and apply to soap. Here reverse if false means same concept, it will apply the way we have explained in previous video, like if it is true means and if what if it will get false, those opposite rule will get applied. Okay, short description here, the name of the your data policy description, if you want to keep it, what is the purpose for this, and again this is the condition we are applying. Based on this condition, the rule will get applied. Again this condition will populate based on the table selected over here. Okay, and here we have written the data policy rule, that means requested for, we are making a mandate, same thing like the way we have seen in our previous video, right? So here we are making a mandatory. Others options are not there because visibility we cannot check at the server side level, right? Whether it is visible or not, right? So read only we can check it, like read whether the form is on the form A, whether it is read only or if we want to leave alone or not. So but hide and show and clearing the value, it will not work for the client server side, right? So that's the only difference. Again you have a provision to convert your data policy to UI policy. You can see it over here. We have the one link, convert this to UI policy. If you want to convert it, again it will get converted. Okay, hope that okay. So now this is we have applied it, already created, it will work for both client side as well as the server side. Now let's validate our rules. Okay, so what I'm going to do here, we have a form, let me open, which is having a requested for as a empty. So first what I will be doing, I will be saying okay pending, and let me select these values. Okay, now what I'm going to do, state from pending to I'm going to do a open. Okay, so now it is asking, as you can see here, now there's no UI policy, right? We have written the data policy, but checkbox is checked for, that means it will apply for the UI policy as well. So because of that, this property is working, right? So our agenda is to make a mandatory whenever the state field set to open, right? So here it is getting mandatory. Now let's select any value and save this form. Now it is getting saved. Now it's time to check our from the list. Okay, so we have updated the value over here in the requested for, and the state is open. Okay, now let's try to remove this requested for. Okay, so here I will just try to remove, and I will say save. As you can see a data policy exception, the following field are mandatory requested for, right? It is not allowing, right? So it doesn't matter now, it doesn't matter from where you are pushing a data, whether through the transform map, whether through the integration, it will protect your data. If it is not, as data is not coming as expected, it will not allow you to update and save the record. There are other way also to do so. We'll see, we can write a business rule also to prevent those kind of data like insertion or updation, but at the data policy level we can restrict the or we can prevent the data insertion or updation. Hope you guys clear with the UI policy and data policy. If you have any questions, please write to me, leave a comment in this video. I will try to answer it as soon as possible. Thank you guys. Thanks. Hello guys, welcome back to my YouTube channel. My name is Runjay Patel. Guys, in this video, I'm going to talk about a business rule, which is very important one. Okay, you can find a many video over the YouTube how we can write a business rule, but in that video, they will not tell you at what scenario, what kind of business rule you have to write. So there are four types of business rule which you will choose it, like among the, between the after and async business rule, which one you are going to choose, and what will be the scenario, right? So don't worry guys, in this video I'll be talking about each and everything in details. Okay, so I'll be talking about base practice of the business rule. Okay, so with the practical example. Okay, so now let's understand first what is business rule. Okay, if you don't know, then I'm just going to walk you through the business rule. So I'm not going to take your much time over here in the um, this theoretical knowledge. Okay, you can find a many article over the Google. Okay, so business rule is a server side scripting rules. Okay, wherever you want to do interaction with your database, then we can write a business rule, when before you want to do interaction or after insertion you want to do or some operation, then on that scenario we will be writing a business rule. Okay, so there are four types of business rule, you might be aware of it. So first is the display business rule, used to provide client side script access from the server side data. So whenever you require a data from the server end while loading the form, you want to use that data in your client script. So on that case, what we have to do, we have to write a display business rule. Okay, we'll see that how we can write a display business rule. Basically, we will be using a g underscore a scratchpad variable to bring the data from server side to the front end. Okay, so we'll see all this thing with the practical example, so don't worry guys. So before business rule, if you want to do some operation before inserting and updating data in your database, then you can just go for writing a before business rule. We'll see the scenario in just in coming minute. We will see that. So after again after is said after you have inserted or updated data in your database, and then you want to perform some operation, then you can use the after business rule. Async business will act like same like a after business rule, but it will give you feasibility to lose the control and you can do your activity. Just take an example you are going to update the record, and after update you want to perform some job operation which is going to take 1 minute time, right? But that is not relevant to your upcoming functionality, right? So if it is not related to that, what you have to do, you have to do like you have to just write a async business rule. So you are telling to the system, hey, just update the record and get my control back, okay? And in parallel in the background just run this background job and whatever I have written my logic. So I have a control back as soon as possible, okay? The my script will get completed, and the job which I have written after insertion or database data to into the database, then job is running parallelly. I'm not talking about the that will run internally, right? So but in the after says no, until unless if you are writing a after business tool, if you, and then you have written any like a job or any matrix and SLA rules over to calculate that rules, then it says until and unless I will not finish my work, I will not return back my control to you. I hope you got it. There is a little bit difference between after and async. Okay, async will give you feasibility to continue with your work, and in the background, they will continue with their work. Okay, so these are the four kind of business rule. We'll see. Don't worry, guys. We will see with the practical example. Okay. Now let's talk about some best practice we have to follow while writing any business rule. Okay, first it says like do not write code outside the function. This may leads to unexpected behavior. Like nowadays, like ServiceNow itself started providing with the function. So whenever you are going to write a business rule, it will come up with the one function. So make sure you are not writing your code outside of that function. Okay, make sure that means you will be writing inside of that function. Okay, now second it says avoid writing global business rule. Yeah, guys, this is a very important one. Whenever it is required, you wanted to build a logic that required to apply on all the tables, right? So then on that case, what you will be doing, you will be writing a business rule. So it said no, you should not write a business rule. Instead of business rule, you can just write a script include. Okay, and wherever you want, you just call that a script include, and you can use that later on also. As of now, I have not covered the script include, or very soon I'm going to cover a script include video also. Okay, now guys, next point, it says write avoid writing CSID. So I have seen most of the developer who started career in ServiceNow, like they have very less experience. What they will do in the code, they start writing a CSID. Okay, that is not like a best practice, guys. If you want to write a CSID, just define a properties and call that properties like just.get property. You will get that value. Okay, so why we are asking to do not write a sysid, because if in future suppose that you have retained a sysid for some x group, but in future point of time, like after 6 months down the line, your clients wants, okay, from change the from x to y group. So what you will be do, you will be, if you have written a sysid, then you have to go to your business rule and then you have to modify it accordingly, right? So that is not advisable. So instead of that updating your business rule, you just go and change your property. Okay, fine. So now fourth point is make sure run business rule option enabled. Okay guys, option enable while running any transform app. Yeah, this is also important one, guys. While writing like whenever you are uploading a data, like using a data source, then that time you might have written your transform map, right? So there you have to one checkbox would be there, run business rule. What it will do, if you will not check the run business rule, so you will not get a expected behavior. So suppose just take an example, you have inserted one data, and based on the insertion of data you are performing some operations in background, and if you have not checked this option, and you are inserting a data using a transform map, then your background operation will not get performed. Okay, so make sure that whenever you are applying or like writing a data using a transform map, make sure that run business rule you have checked it. Okay, again it's up to you, like what on what scenario you are writing a transform map. If it is you don't, you just want to insert the data and you don't want to perform any background functional job after insertion or updation, if it, is there any business rule is written on that table, you don't want to perform that, then may just uncheck that. Okay, but best practice is always make it check all the time. Okay. Okay, guys. So now next one is prevent writing current dot update in before insert update br means business rule. Okay, if there is no other way except this, then you use user can use this update set. Okay, so there is a misspell over here, like with the sentence. I'm sorry for that. I will correct it and I will upload this document. Okay, so what I mean to say over here, so prevent writing a current dot update. Okay, so what it will does, guys, if you are writing a current dot update in your before business rule, then what it will say, it will you are calling a recursive function. You might be heard about the recursive function in C, right? So you can call yourself, that is called recursive, right? So here also you are doing the same thing. If you are writing a current dot update, means it will update the record, again it will call the same, you are updating a record for the same table, right? So just avoid writing current dot update. And the certain scenario, if there is no other way, that means we cannot achieve your function, like the scenario which we are talking about, other than writing a current dot update, then make sure that you have added one line of code, that is the current dot set workflow false. Okay, what it will does, guys, it will not allow system to run your business rule which is already written. Okay, suppose that you have written a 10 business rule on incident table and you are updating a record, and you have written this function while updating the record, then those 10 business rule will not get triggered. Okay, if it will not get triggered means we are just breaking the recursive functions, right? I hope you understand. Now, 6 point guide, use glide aggregate instead of glide record. Guys, glide aggregate is for whenever you want to count the, like if you want to get a count of the tickets, how many opens tickets are there. So instead of using a glide record and just adding a add query like active is equal to true, it will give you the count, right? Also, so instead of that, you can just directly use the glide aggregate and get count, row count, and use that function get row count. Okay, which will give you the your active incident present on that table. 7 point, guys, use business rule to double check your critical input fields if there any. Means like if there any is there any critical field which is there on your form, like incident form. So you can use a business rule, like it's best practice said, like it's a very low priority, but it said like always double check with your business rule. Anyway, I know that you will be checking at the form level, and like you might be have written a UI policy or client script to make sure that means that critical value user has to input before submitting the form. But for double sure, you can just include those mandatory checks in your business rule also. Okay, and the last, guys, always use some condition to execute the business rule. So don't write a business rule which don't have any conditions. Okay, so always try to make some conditions to execute your business rule. Okay, so as a 8 point I have highlighted, you can think before writing a business rule. So whatever thing scenario it is coming, you have to make all this point in your mind. Okay, now let's talk about the scenario, like use case which I'm going to cover in this session. Okay, means I'll be talking about the practical example. So just take a scenario like a display or set logged in user to requested for field on my incident form, right, while loading the form. Okay, you might be aware whether we have a my incident form, right? So on that form we have one requested for. So let me open that here, my incident. Okay, so on the my incident form we have a requested for. So I'm talking about this. Okay, so what use case is, whenever you are clicking on the new button, create new, it should get auto fill with logged in user. So logged in user is a system admin, so it should auto fill with the system logged in user. So that is the first point it is saying. So we are going to write a business rule, like we have to think like what kind of business rule we have to write, correct? So we'll see in the practical example. Second, I'll be going to cover like update and sync a state field on parent tickets. Okay, so you have to make sure that means whatever a state is there for the child ticket. Here I'm talking about this state. Okay, so if I'm updating a work in progress, and if any parent tickets are associated with this incident, then same state whatever we are selecting over here, it should auto sync to a parent ticket as well. So this is our second practical example we are going to see in this video. And third thing, prevent ticket to be closed if related change requests or problem tickets are open. Task for you means I'm not going to do this. This task is for you. You have to make sure. Let me explain you. So we have one here. Let me open the any existing one, so that we will be having a related list, right? So I'm telling that if I want to close this ticket, if I'm making it close complete, then I have to make sure that all the change request which is attached to this or problem attached to this incident has to be closed. If it is open, then we should prevent to close this incident. I hope you got it. Let me make you understand once again. If I'm making it this current incident is close complete, then I have to make sure that means the related change request and problem tickets are also closed. If it is not, then don't allow user to close complete this your current tickets. Okay, so this will be a task for you. So now let's jump. Don't worry, guys. Just try yourself. If you'll have any doubt, like we have a Telegram group over there. You can ask to me. Okay, I will help you out over there. Now let's talk about now our first scenario. Okay, so here our first scenario is display or set logged in user to requested for field, right? So what we are going to do here. So first we have to open our form. Let me open that. Okay. Okay. So whenever I'm clicking on the new, it should be auto populate to logged in user. So that is our requirement. So right. So what you have to do, guys, if you think what kind of business rule we have to write, if you aware, that means if we want to bring something from back end to front end, like from the server end to client end, then which kind of business rule we will be using? Display business rule, right? It says used to provide a client side script access from server side data, right? Example, how we can do so using this variable. Okay, so now let's check this how we can do so. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to write a business rule over here. Right click and business rule, go to configuration and business rule, same way, guys. Okay, so let me check if is there any. Okay, so to save our time, I think this is for parent update. No. Okay, this is for second task we have. So let me show you the first one. So first one we have to write a business rule, guys, over here to display business rule. So let's create it. Okay, so just give the name like oh, still it is loading. Bring logged in user, bring logged in user. Okay, so let's click advanced. When to run, we have to select display business rule, right? So here by default table is selected on which table you wanted to apply. Sorry, I forget to explaining all this, guys. So again, it's a very simple, guys. So first in the name you have to just give the your business rule name. Here the table name is selected, means we on which table this business rule will run. Here active means this, you know that active flag if it is checked, that means then only it will run. Here the application means we are writing this business rule on global application. Advanced means it will enable us to write a script over here. As you can see here, if I'm disabling this advanced, then this option is also to advanced writing a script is also going off. Okay, so we need that, so I have checked that this advanced option over here. When to run means we have selected display business rule. Okay, so display business rule, let's check it out now. No need to select anything. So here action not required. So let me explain you over here. Like for display business rule, we are just bringing a data, so I'm not going to select delete and query all these things. So if we are selecting a before, then we have to select like before, insert, update, delete, or query, what kind of operation you want to perform over here. So you are saying before, insert, or update. So most of the time we will be playing with this insert and update. Okay, so before insert and update, if you want to set some value, you can do so. Okay, so here is the operations, and before, delete, like that. Before, after, you can just select the after and insert, after, insert, or update. It's a very simple, guys. And async, you just select the async and it will give you option like insert or update or delete or something like that. Okay, it's very easy. So in our case, let's write our display business rule over here. Now fine, we are not going to set any action. Okay, so now here we have to write some code, correct? So to make this value available, like a logged in user available on the front end, what we have to do, we have to write a little bit one line of code, right? So let me first write g underscore on this one, a scratch pad. So g underscore as scratch pad is the variable. This is the like server side and client side, both it is available. Okay, so we have to use the g underscore as scratch pad, and then dot, we have to provide the name. Okay, so that with the same name we can access at the front end. So I'm just providing requested for req, let it for req and 4. Okay, and then we have to assign the value, means which value. So we know that how we can get the logged in user. gs dot get user id, maybe you will be getting here user id. So this will give us a sysid of the logged in user, right? gs dot get user id, this will give us sysid of the logged in user, and I'm going to store this logged in user sysid in the requested for variable. A scratch pad we have used because we want this value to be present while loading the form. Okay, so let me save this. Okay, so now this is available now. So whenever we will load the form, our incident form, that a scratch pad variable will be available. Okay, so now let's refresh it. Okay, now we have to click on the new, and as you can see here, guys, as of now it is not getting populated. right? But the thing is, guys, we have done our 50% job, right? 50% is still pending. What we have done as of now means we have written the code which will bring the logged in user from server to front end. Now that logged in user is available on the front end. You have to catch that logged in users sysid, and we have to set in the requested for. So for that, what we are going to do, we are going to write a client script, right? So here we'll go and write a onload client script over here. And the name we will be giving set requested for, right? So I'm not going to explain in details, like I have already made a video on client script. If you have not watched, please go and watch that first. So I'll be applying for all, and the onload I'll be writing, and here I'll be first making one variable that req underscore 4, okay, and then I'll be getting that value in g underscore a scratch pad, and that req underscore 4, okay, g underscore dot req underscore 4, correct. So this here it will give us requested for the in this variable. Let make it little bit or different, otherwise you guys you will get confused. Requested for, let me make it like this way. So this variable is different and this variable is different. So this variable you have to keep the same which you have setted in your business rule, okay. So make sure we are using req underscore for. So same thing in the client script also we have to use it over here, req underscore fr. This is the local variable now. So now we have to set it. We have now logged in users there at the client place, right? So now what we have to do, we have to set that. So for setting the value, you know that what we have to write, g underscore form dot set value, right? Set value, what we have to give, which value we want to set, means which field value. So first we have to give requested for, right? So this is our field name, requested for, correct. So now, and then we have to set this value, right? So this is the way to set the value to on the form, right? Okay, so now save this. So now our job is done. First, what we have did here, like first we have created one scratch pad variable, and in display business rule, which will bring the data from backend to front end. And here in the onload client script, we have cached that value, and we have set that value for the requested for. Now, guys, let's click over here and let's check it out. Okay, value didn't came. Oh, sorry, we missed the field name. I think you underscore requested for we have to give. So I have given only requested for because this is the custom field we have created on the form, right? Now I'm just reloading the same new form. I hope so this time it will populate the data correct. Got it, guys? Over here you can see here we have the data now, right? So to achieve this, let me make you one time more clear to you. So for achieve this, our requirement was whenever if person is clicking on the new create new incident form, so by default in the requested for logged in user name should come. Okay, so that was our requirement. To achieve this, what I did first, I have written the display business rule. Okay, here I have selected the display business rule. Order you can give any, it doesn't matter. It's again same lowest order will execute first. So here it is, doesn't matter. We'll see about this kind of a stuff, what we can do for the what is the use of these many steps. Okay, but here in the advanced we have just catch that logged in user and set it in the req4 variable. This name you can give as per your naming conventions, or you can follow whatever name you want, but make sure that means same name you are going to use in your client script as well here. Okay, fine guys, hope you understand. Now let's talk about our second scenario. Let me close all others tabs over here. So our second scenario was here, update and sync a state field on parent tickets. Okay, so for achieving this guys, what kind of business rule we have to write? Any idea guys? So let me open this. Okay, so our requirement is first let me create one incident. Okay, I'm selecting any random value. Okay, fine. So let me save this. Okay, fine. So our requirement here is and let me add one parent ticket to this. Let me add okay, so here let me start with my incident and let me add it as 48. Okay, and make sure that means 48 is still open. Yes, it is open. Here it is one. Okay, so let's save this. Okay, so our agenda is if I'm updating a work in progress, suppose work in progress, then it is asking for assign to, but here a state is open. Okay, so if I'm saving this, here work in progress, and here you can see the state is still open, means it is not getting sync. Our requirement is whatever the state is there on the child ticket, it should be also present for the your parent ticket. Okay, so for this what kind of business tool we have to write guys? Any idea? We have to write after business rule. Okay, so select from left navigation, also we can go business rule here. The only thing is guys, I think I have already written to save our time to update parent ticket over here. Okay, so this is the business tool I have written and I have made this inactive, so let me make this active. Okay, first. So here guys, if you can check over here, I have written after business rule after update. Okay, after update this business rule will run again. I'm not taking care of this. In a moment I will be talking about this action, what is the use of this action. And the action I have written some code, so this is one way to do so, but you can see here, so like I have to write many lines to complete this activity, but this is also a working code. Okay, we can use that. So I'll be explaining, so don't worry guys. So right now my this code one is working. What I'm trying to do it over here. So here is the current is our, which will give the current record which we are on over here. So it will give the sysid over here, means current object. Okay, so current dot parent means it is giving a this one sysid of the parent tickets. Okay, and then I have used a function called get ref record, means I'll be getting a object of this incident. Basically current will give the object of this incident, and current dot parent dot get ref record, it will give the object of this record, means parent record. If we will have the object, we can just do a dot working and we can get the number. If you want to get the company name, you just do a dot working, you will be getting, because you will be having an object of this incident. Correct. So current will also do the same thing. Current will provide you the object of the current tickets, right? So now so for this we are having a current means a parent object. Basically this is the like a variable name. Let's make it like anything caller as of now I have made it. Okay, so now here now the second line it is saying caller dot state, means we are going to set caller dot state, means we are talking about this now. Okay, we are on this incident, but how we can go to this using a this keyword. Okay, current dot parent. First, let me just elaborate it a little bit more. Current means we are talking about this record, correct? This is the record. Now current dot parent means we are talking about this record. Okay, now current dot parent dot get ref record means we are talking about object of this record, means object of this record means this one. Okay, and now we are setting that using that, and I have stored this object in this field. Okay, this is basically a object. Let me just obj. Okay, parent object. Let me make like this, parent obj, parent object. Okay, so everywhere I have to replace with uh, here and here. Okay, let me save this once again. Okay guys, so here till here I hope you are clear, means we are having a now object of this record. Now the second line it's saying means we are going to assign current dot state, means current means which record, this one on which right now business rule is getting applied. So current dot state means we will be getting a work in progress over here. So here it is coming work in progress, and then we are saying parent object state, means parent object state means here, right? So on this we are assigning the current one, means here this is the current one. This will give the value of the work in progress, and parent object will give the assigned to is equal to here a state. Okay, so from here this one, from a state, this is current state to a parent state, we are just transferring it over here, and then we are calling it a update function which will update the record. So let me show you. Okay, so as of now what I'm going to do, I'm going to say open. Okay, and I'll be save this record. So still here it is also open. Okay, now here let me check again, just go back again to work in progress. Let me save this work in progress. I can see here guys, here it is also coming a work in progress, right? So if here, if I will say close complete, save this, here so also become a close complete. Got it? So this was our requirement. We have captured it, right? So I hope you are clear with this three lines of code. We can achieve this, and same thing we can achieve it from here also. First what we have to do, you just do a glide record, and then you just look for the sys and just add a query and run the add query. If gr.next, if value is there, then set the value of that current object, and just make sure that means you are calling this set.workflow. So here also if you want to call the set workflow, then you just call it, otherwise just leave it. Okay, so I hope you understand, and now let's talk about some random scenario where we can use this action over here. We don't want to use this script, but we want to use the action. Okay, so just take one scenario guys. Let me open my incident. Okay, so my question is, while saving the form, okay, while saving the form, if assignment group is anyhow mandatory, so if location is not if location is empty, please set some random location like X location we have. If location is not present over here, so for that what we have to do, we have to write a before business rule, before insert and update, and we can set the value. So how we can set the value? Let me show you just quickly. See, I'm just going to write a set location, set locations. Okay, so on this table it is getting applied. I'm not going to do a advanced over here. Sorry, advanced. We have to click before insert or update. And this time I'm not going to use any script. I'm going to set. I'm saying, hey, I'm going to if look, and then we have to use the conditions, right? If location is empty, means if location is empty, then please set the location, any random location. We can just selecting suppose that this location all the time. If there is no value, then all the time we can set the locations. Okay, let me save this. We have basically set the value. We can use a script to set the same, but we know that we should avoid writing a script as much as possible. So using this configuration, I have set the value. Now let's check it out. I'm not going to fill location. System will fill for me. Okay, because we have written a business rule, and I'm just saving it. As you can see here, this will get filled because system is was looking if location is empty, then they can set this value. Okay, and now the thing is, guys, when we can use this about action and the add message, some kind of a stuff. Okay, so about message we can use. Suppose we have one a scenario where once the close complete is happen. Okay, and there is no group. Let me select some others. Okay, so if close complete is there over here, then we should avoid updating that ticket. No more updation is required if someone has closed the ticket and they have set as a close complete. If such kind of requirement it is coming, then what you have to do, you have to write a business rule before business rule. Okay, and you have to check. Okay, let me write it away, guys. So I just make it duplicate, and I'm going to write over here business rule. Okay, so in this case what I'm going to do, I'm just going to say prevent update once ticket closed. Okay, on this table I'm saying, and select over here. Here saying a state is equal to close complete, then run this, and before insert and update. Here action I'll be saying, I'm not going to say anything. So here I'll be saying first we have to say about this action. About this action means it will not allow you to save that, but we have to show some message also. Like what kind of message? Hi, or we can say simply message, uh, ticket has been closed, you cannot modify going forward. Okay, like this. Now whatever the message, if you want to just place it here, you can just place the message. Okay, now let's check it out, guys. So suppose we have a ticket which got close complete, and we are trying to update something. Okay, so let's just update this one itself, and in not this one, or just update anyone medium. I'm just going to update. I'm going to do a save. Message is saying invalid update, ticket has been closed, you cannot modify going forward, right? We got it. So we have seen all kind of business rule over here, right? So guys, if you have any doubt, I think as per my understanding, I have covered each and every part as of now. Okay, so for you, you just do and do this activity. I will upload this document in this video section for your just reference. Okay, and if you have any doubt, you can reach out to me while commenting on this video itself, or you know that we have a telegram group, telegram group called service now help desk, same like whatever my channel name is there, with the same name I have created it. Thanks guys, thanks for watching. Hello guys, welcome back to my YouTube channel. My name is Runjay Patel. Guys, in this video, I'm going to talk about a script include and Ajax call. I'm taking these both topic all together because both are interlinked to each other, means it is related to each other. So let's talk about the agenda which I'm going to cover in this topic in this video. First, we will understand about script include and Ajax call, like what is a script include and what is Ajax call, and second thing, we will see when, how, and in which scenario we will use it. So that is a very important one. Like when we can have a Ajax call instead of writing a direct server side script at the client place, we can use a Ajax call. So we will see in the details. Third one I'll be talking about with the practical example, understand a synchronous call. Basically, so that is a get XML, what is a method, that is a synchronous method, and when we can call it and what scenario we can use a get XML wait method. So I'll be showing you with the practical with the live example this, and the second one we will see a synchronous Ajax call, that is a get XML. So most of the time whenever you are creating a script include and you are calling a server side script, then you will be most of the time you will be using a get XML, that is a asynchronous call. So basically that is a, like a, by default you will be getting. So but it is a very important to know where we can use a get XML with get XML wait method. Okay, fine. So let's first understand what is a script include. So let me directly navigate to you on the portal. So here just type include. So this is the my way I can look for the script include. So under the system definition, here I can find the script include. So basically, a script include is a place where we can write our server side scripting, where we can do a server side scripting. When we can write our queries, we can do a glide code, everything like whatever the server side object is available that we can use in the script include. So it's a very simple, but a script include we can define in two way. Like first, whether it this script include, can it be called from the server end or can it be called from the client end as well. So as you can see here, let me create one or give you the example like test one. So if I am giving a test, then it will create, system will create one API for us, that is the global, because we are creating this script include in the global application. So it is saying a global.test. So this is basically a name of the script include. And the here this is a very important one guys. So client callable, if you are not checking this checkbox, means this script include and whatever the function you will be defining inside this script include, that is not callable from your client script. So that is the basically mean. So if you want to make it available at the client place, then you have to make this client callable checkbox checked. Fine. So make sure that means this, if you are creating any script include which should be available at your client place, like you can call it, you wanted to call from your client script, then you just make sure that means client callable checkbox is checked. Here it is defining accessible from, means this application scope only, and the all applications scope. So like whenever this application scope means you can call this script include under this applications, means global applications. So if you are making it like might be you are writing a script include and you wanted to make available for all the scoped application, on that time you have to make this uh, selection all application scopes. Fine. So if you are using, you know that this script include, we are going to use it only for this global scope. Then you just need to select the all application scope. So it's again, it's based on your requirement, how and how you are going to do a function in inside the script include. Fine. So this is a very simple form. It is there like no need to, here you can provide your description what is the use of for this script include. Fine. So this is the script include. Now second one is the um, Ajax call, right? So Ajax call, what does it mean by Ajax call and why we need this? So guys, whenever we required some data from the backend, means from the server, we can use a um, Ajax call basically. So wait, let me show you. I will give you one example. So suppose take example. We have this form. You might be aware, if you have watched my previous video, you might be aware about this form, my incident form, right? So this form, what I wanted to achieve, if I'm selecting any configuration item. So based on the configuration item, assignment group should populate automatically. So the thing is like a configuration item assignment group, from where we will get it from the database, and from the database doing a query, how we have to call our server, we have to call our server side script. Okay, although we can write in a script in sorry, in client script, like we can do a query using this sysid of this configuration, but that's not a best practice. So then to overcome from this scenario, we have a Jax call. Calling means we are calling a server side script. We are bringing a data and populating to a assignment group. We'll see this with the live example. I will show you how we can achieve this. Fine. So I hope you got it, the concept about a script include and Ajax call. A script include is a server side scripting where we can define a multiple function in one script include as well. So you are free to use like if you are defining a kind of library and utility package, if you are defining under that your script include, there are many functions. Just take example, like you wanted to define three function. One is for multiplication, addition and subtractions. So you want to keep it in the one script include, so we can do that way. And that actually that is the best way to achieve such kind of scenario. So okay, we will see in this scenario, we will see where we when and how we can use script include and Ajax call. Fine. So let's jump to directly to the our practical example. I don't think so now any much. Sorry guys. So now I don't think so much. Fine. So now let's jump to the our practical example. What I'm going to do, I'm going to create one scenario. So as I had discussed, like based on the selection of the configuration item, let's populate the assignment group. So assignment group which will come from this configuration item. So let me open this configuration item over here. Fine. So you can see it over here. We have a one field called a support group. So whatever the value it is present in the support group, we will populate the same group in our assignment group. Fine. Hope you are clear with this. So let me just create for this guys. What we have to do. So this is one scenario, right? So what we have to do, that we have to write one on change client script so that it will we will get a value of the whatever the value selected in the configuration item. So let's do it right away. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to create a one client script here on change client script. Basically, I'll be creating on the configuration item. So let's give the um, auto set assignment group. Or fine, this is already selected table. So here UI type, let me select the only for desktop. Anyway, we are not going to make it. So anyway, if you want to make it available for the mobile or service portal, then you just make it like this. Or if it is all, then you can just select the all. I'm going with the desktop one. So here on change, I will be looking for, and here in the field name, configuration item. Fine. So here I'm defining whenever the value will get changed on the configuration item, we have to call one a function so that it will bring a data from the server end. So guys, let me save this. We can write a like glide record query over here also, but that is not the recommended way, and that is also not a best practice. Okay, it will create it will hamper down your performance. If you're concerned about the performance of the service now, then definitely don't go with writing directly a code like a server side code over here. That's not the best practice. Anyway, like a best practice or video is coming soon. I'll be releasing a best practices in service based on the service now. Fine. So for time saving, guys, I have already written that query. So let me save this. So this is the function. Let me just put it over here. Don't worry, guys. I'll be explaining you each and every line in details. So let me just save this. Fine. So let's understand. So let me create one more thing, guys. Here, Runjay utility, and what I'm going to do. I'm saying incident utility. Fine. So this is utility. Let me save this, and we'll create one a script include also, because we need a script include. So over there we can write our server side code, right? So let me just write the code first. I will explain each and every point. You will get a very clear picture on that. So I'm just giving a incident utility. So whatever the function which is required from related to incident, I'll be writing those function in this side a script. So I wanted to call this script include from the client side. So I'll be checking this option, client callable. Fine. If you are not checking it, then means you will be not able to call it from your client side. Fine. Let me save this as well. Fine. So now we have a script include, and now we have a on change client script as well. So let me open the incident as well. So my incident. Fine. So our requirement is, let me confirm it once again. Whenever I'm selecting this, any configuration item or CI, based on the support group map with the CI, that support group auto populate over here, right? So on that case, what I'm going to do, I'm going to call one on change on the configuration item. So here is the thing. So now let me explain it one by one over here. Fine. So well, first line number 3, guys, it is saying is loading, or this is a or symbol, new value is equal to empty, means either of is loading. We don't want to call our this function on load, so that's why we are returning at nothing. So we are telling to the system here, if while loading the form I don't want to call my Ajax call over here, and if value which is getting selected, if new value is empty, on that case also I don't want to call. Why necessary we will call it server side script if value it is empty, right? So that's the main. So if value is empty and while loading the form we don't want to call our Ajax call. basically server side script. So only the time when value is getting changed, that time we wanted to call our Ajax call. Fine. So you hope you are clear with this line. Now sixth line, this is one method guys which is defined predefined glide Ajax. So here we are making an object of the glide Ajax, and under that we are passing one parameter, that is a script include name. This is basically nothing a include name. Fine. So same name you have to provide. What you see incident utils I'm passing over here, and here we have a incident util. So same name. If name is mismatching and uppercase and lowercase, then it will not get called, guys. So make sure the name parameter you are providing that exact match with your script include over here. Fine. Hope you are clear with this. So it's a simple. You have to create a object for Ajax call and pass the script include name as a parameter. Now in the second line, guys, in the seventh line, what it is saying, this is guys in one script include we can define a n number of method. So suppose we have defined multiplication, we have defined for addition, subtraction, division. So these many function it is defined. So it's a kind of utility package. So on that package we have a many functions. So which function you want to call it? So first of all we tell to the system where I want to call a script include util class this one. Inside this I wanted to call a function called get CI support group. So this is nothing but your function name which is defined. Let me write it down for you. Function name which is defined inside the script include. Fine. So this is the function I'm interested to call. There might be a separate function, but for this on change a script, I'm going to call or this function. Then you will be asking, guys, so where is the function? So let me just copy it for you. So I have already written get. So here is your function. I'm just copying it and I'm just copying it over here. Fine. Don't worry, guys. I will explain once I will come back to server-side scripting. So I'm just calling it over here. Fine. Now a function is available. So this is the way we can define our function. So get same function name as you can see here. Get CI support group, and here also it is saying same. Fine. So you should not change the name of this parameter. Make sure, guys. This parameter if you are changing, then it will not check the this function name basically. So you should make sure that means you are not changing the sysparam underscore name. So this is basically a indicator to the system that yeah, you are looking for the function name called get CI support group. Fine. Next eighth line it is saying we might while calling a function we might have to pass some parameter value from the client side to server side, right? So in this case in our example also we wanted to pass this configuration item data, right? Then based on that only we can bring a support group data to front end, right? So in this case I'm going to pass a configuration item whatever it is selected over here. So for that this is the value. So then parameter name, guys, you have to use a sys params, that is for here it is there sys param underscore. This is basically I'm using a key to get the value at the server side. So now you are free to write your own key over here. You can write anything over here like a 1 2 3 something like that. It's up to you. So but make sure that whatever the you are writing a key after a sys param underscore, then you have to use the same variable as over here this way. So let me show you. So this is basically your parameter value pass to server side. Fine. So this is basically this will become a whole key, and here is the dynamic value. So new value, whatever the value we are selecting over here on change, that will come on new. So I'm passing a new because it is a reference field, so it will pass the sys ID of this record, right? So we'll see that. So now till here you guys clear, I hope. So till here we are just passing a calling a. So first let's understand again. So first one is the script include name, second one is the your function name, third one is the parameter. You can now you have a pre to define a n number of parameter, you can pass it. So here I'm going to pass, suppose, Runjay. So here I'm just passing the a static value, or here I can instead of Runjay, here I can pass the name, right? So if I will use this keyword, then what I'll be getting, Runjay Patel name I'll be getting. Fine. So I'm not going to do that. So till here only one parameter I'm passing. So I have showed you because you can pass a n number of data from client side to server side. Just wait till here guys. Get XML, here we have used it. So this is basically a synchronous call guys. So as you can see here, so get XML is a asynchronous call. So sorry guys, this is a asynchronous call. So this time we don't want to wait for the response basically. So asynchronous call we will be using that. See guys here, so just think about. So why I should hold the control if something is processing based on this selection. I don't want to hold the whole control, right? So on that case only we are going for the asynchronous call. So wherever it is requirement is such a way, that means you have to hold without x input, we cannot proceed further. On that time we will be using a get xml wait. We will see that scenario as well with the practical example, but in this case we don't want to hold the control. That's why we have written a asynchronous call over here. So this is basically a asynchronous call. Fine. So asynchronous call will have one function name over here. So set CI support group. So this is the way we are calling it. So this is basically a function, and as a response we will be getting from the server end. And now the 13 line guys, this is you have to remember this line whole. So this is the way to get the value which is coming from the server end. The whole things you have to remember and nothing to do with this. So you have to write a response dot response xml dot document element dot get attribute, and whatever the name you are setting from the front end, sorry, from the back end. So in the answer we will be getting the value, right, of sys id of the assignment group. So here we are now using a g underscore form dot set value to set the value over here. Hope you got it. So this is the like a simple way as client script function basically. Fine. So now how data is coming from the server end. Let's check it out. How it is processing internal data or whatever data we are sending from the front end. So now let's suppose we are passing a this a record to the client side, right? So how we will call it? So this is already defined guys, we are nothing to do with this. If you are making a client callable, it will become like this. So this is the predefined object extend object abstract ajax processor. Fine. So this is the predefined one, nothing to do with that. Now our actual work will start from here. So this is our function name. So they have identified from the client side, that means they are looking for a function which is defined, this function which is defined inside the script include called incident utils. Fine. They are passing a this parameter. So same parameter I have used it guys, you can see here. So how you will achieve it? So this is for get the value which is coming from client side. Fine. So this is the way this dot get parameter you have to use it, and under the this function you have to pass your key name which you have defined in your client script. So this key name I have defined, so I'm using the same. So here I'll be getting a sys id of that this object. Basically asus g series is the one record, so I'll be getting a sys id of that. Fine. So now this is the way to get the value which is coming from the front end. Now simple things, I have created one variable called a support group, and right now it is empty. Now I am doing a glide record on the configuration item over here, and we are using a gr.get method, and I'm passing a sysid over here. So if it is, you know that like if I will pass a sysid, then definitely I'll be getting a one record. So this is the way to use get method to get the record. Basically you can write a gr.query all these things, guys. Like you can go for gr.add query and pass the sysid, and this same thing, guys, over here. Just let me do it for you, and you will be using a gr.query, right, and gr.next, something like that. But we can skip this line 2 3 lines while using a, sorry guys, while using a get method. Fine. So same, for same purpose I have used the get method to skip the 3 4 lines over here. So basically this is doing the same activity. Now we know that that means we got one result. So now we are pulling a support group. So let me open that. So this is basically a name of that field, a support group. So same name we have to provide it over here, right? Once we will have this, so this is also a reference failed support group. So this will get assigned to a support group variable which I have defined over here, and I'm returning the same. So basically from the server side it will return the sys id of the support group which is related over here. So whatever, if it is not selected, then it will return it will not return anything like empty. If it is there, then definitely it will return a sys id of the support group. Now same sys is now available over here in this case. So here in the answers one, in this answer we will be having a sys of that support group, and using that sys we are just setting the value to the assignment group. Guys, rest we will see in part 2, because if I will keep in same video it will be more than 1 hour, I think so. So we'll keep the rest thing in part 2. We will discuss about synchronous call as well. So please don't forget to watch the part 2, because that is the very very important one. Fine. Thank you. Hello guys, welcome back to my YouTube channel. My name is Runjay Patel. Guys, this video is a continuous of previous video. So I hope you have already went through the part 1. So this is the part 2 of a script include and Ajax call. So let's start now. So now just check it now, guys. So let me save it, whether it is working or not. Fine. So let me just refresh it, and here I'll be selecting. Something is not working over here. I'm just selecting this. Still it is not working. So we have to do a troubleshoot, guys. Let me check at the client end itself what we are getting in the answers. So we can just put a alert. Now just let me change some other value. Okay, I have to replace it. Let me just reload the form. Null it is coming, means from the server end we are not getting a value. So what is the issue? Let me check, guys. We are doing a sys.get assignment group. Sys ID same I'll be using here. Sys ID fine. So let me just put it once again. Sys ID here will getting gr.get sys ID, then sys ID. So let me put here logs as well. Lord, I'll be checking this support group whether we are getting a value or not. Fine, guys. So yes, just select it and null value is coming. Just go to logs. You have to go to all logs basically. Just do a created by J2A. What I'm going to do, guys, I'm going to pause this video and let me do a troubleshoot. Otherwise, this video will keep increasing. So just let me do it. Guys, I found the issue actually that was related to same script include was one was the out of box one incident utils, as you can see here. So now what I did, I have changes with my incident utils. So that was creating a ambiguity. That means system was getting confused which script include I have to pick because both was having a same name. So that was the issue, guys. Fine. So now there is no change in our code, as you can see here. So only change I made it at that I have changed the script include name, as you can see here. So previously it was there incident utils. Now it is there my incidents utils. Fine. So now I hope so. Here also you have to change it as script include name. As you can see here, now I have changed it from my incident utils now. Fine. Let me refresh it. So now once I will select this any option over here, like let me select this is my one. As you can see here now assignment group is getting populated based on that here configuration item selected. So let me just cross verify it over here. So same CI I have opened in the new tab over here, and as you can see here, here it is a help desk users support group. So same help desk user is getting populated over here. So let me choose another one. So let me choose first one what it is coming. So here, as you can see here, now it is getting a application development. So guys, in this scenario what I have used means I have used the asynchronous call because we don't want to wait for the server side response. So we have just called our function and just we are knowing that that means once the response will come, then it will populate the assignment group over here. So in this scenario, in such kind of scenario, we can go for the asynchronous call. Simple or get XML is the asynchronous call over here. Fine, guys, hope you are clear with the asynchronous call. Now let's talk about the synchronous call and what scenario and when we can you go for the synchronous call basically. So get XML. Wait, let me close all this. We required because I'm going to use the same script include. I'm going to write a different function over here. So for that, let me just close others. This is given not required. Fine. So now what our requirement is now, then same is take I'm going to take a same incident like my incident, and let me open the any existing one, my incident over here. Let me open this, and if you can see guys, here inside that related list, here we have a task like a child task. So I have made one related list, that is a child task. So I my requirement is, so whenever if someone wants to create a someone wants to resolve a ticket or my incident ticket, then first it has to check whether all the tasks related to that ticket has been closed or not. If it is not closed, then we should not allow to update the or record, basically means my incident in this case. Fine, hope you got the scenario. So I have to check before making this resolved. I have to check all the incident task which is related to this incident have been closed or not. If it is a single task is open, then on that case we should not allow users to save the record, right? So guys, in this case we are relying on the input. Whenever we will writing the code, so we are relying on the input to check whether the task is attached. First we have to check whether the task is attached to this ticket or not. If it is attached, then whether that ticket, any of them, it is open or not. If it is open, then based on that we have to trigger the uh, hmm, control, right? So we are dependent on the input, whatever the input which will come from this result, right? Guys, in this case we have to go with the synchronous call. If we are writing a synchronous call, then what it will happen, that means we are telling to the system, hey, go and check whether the task is open or not. And let's suppose it take 10-second time to check that whether the task is open or not. Within a 10 second, what system does, it will trigger the another work, right? That means we, because we have called it as a save, we are calling it as a save, so it will look for the another thread, right, to save the record. On that time it will save the record, because we are not waiting for this result, basically, right? So if you are not waiting for this result, on that case what it will happen, it will save the record, but later point of time we will come to know, okay, hey, task is still open, but on that time our task is already got resolved, right? So in this case we cannot go for the get xml, means asynchronous call we cannot write. We have to write a synchronous call over here. So I'm just going to do the same activity over here. I'll be checking if task is any child task is open, then we will restrict the uh, ticket to be resolved. Fine. So for that I'm going to use the same let me close this, same utility script include. I'm going to define one function, because we need one function which will check whether the task is opened or not. So let me just go and create one client script again. So this time I'll be creating a on submit client script over here. So just provide any name. I'm just, in this case I'm providing a prevent ticket to be closed and task open. Fine. So in this case I'm going to click on submit. So while submit, we have to check basically here, right? So for this guys, for saving our time, I have already written that, where is that on submit. So yeah, I'm just copying it, these functions. Don't worry guys, I'll be explaining each and everything in details, as last example we have seen that. So let me save this. So I have to just change from this to our script include. So again here also guys I'm calling basically a script include as well, right? So here a script include I have changed the name. So let me show you something. In meantime I will copy my script include functions as well. So script include, yes, this is the function open char. Let me copy this one also. I will explain what is the use of a private function. So fine. So I have copied this one function. This is a one function, and second function I have copied it. This one. This is a kind of private function. Don't worry, guys. I'm going to explain in a moment. Fine. So now in this script include my incident utils, we have three function now. First one is the this one. Fourth line we have written a get CI support group. Just now a few seconds ago we have seen that use of this function. Now second function we have defined, that is the check open task. So this is still here, and the third one we have defined output functions. Just for like a private function I have written a small to check to explain you what is the mean of the private function. So although guys, let me explain the private function now itself. So although guys we are making this script include available at the client place, then still on that on top of that as well we are telling this is, function is not callable from the client script. So something we are making it global, which can be accessible from the server side and the client side, but on something we don't want to call it from the outside. If you want to use this function from this function inside, then it's okay, we can make a use of it, but you cannot call this function from outside of your script include, like from a script client script we cannot call this function the way we call it as this one or the above one, right? And how it will become a private function, as you can see here, if you can see the name here. So here I have written a check open task, but we have now put the underscore. If you are making a underscore, if I will make this underscore, then this function will also become a private function. Then on that case we will not able to call this function. So under, if function name is starting with the underscore, that means that is a private function, we cannot call that function from the client side. Fine, hope you are get it. This is a meaning of private function. So here guys, again let me go back to our prevent here client script. So here what we have done on submit, by default it will come here, we are just calling a this function basically. So here it will return a true or false value. Fine. So based on that, here it will return the true or false. So if it is a false, then it will prevent the submit to the server basically, right? So at the front end itself we are checking before submitting the ticket to the server, we are checking at the front end level. You know that like a client script will work on the front end, right, at the client side. Fine. So now this function will call here. Here we are checking g underscore state is equal to 8. 8 is the let me show you a state value basically. So you can just go ahead and just right click. If you have knowledge on HTML, then you can just do it this way as well. This is the my way I used to do if I need a value. So as you can see here, 8 values for the result. So we are checking if we are someone is putting a ticket to a result, then only execute this function. So same way guys, again we have used the GlideAjax because we are making a call to a server, and here this is the function name. So here we have opened the check open task. This is the function name which we have defined over here, check open task. Same here. Fine. So now the second one we are passing a here a value basically underscore get unique value. So basically a sysid of your record. Sysid of your record means this one. Let me open it. This sysid it will pass. Fine. Okay, where it is? Yeah. So this will give a sysid of the your record which you are trying to close, right, or resolve the ticket. This is the again a key name which I am using. So same key name I have to use to get the value. As you can see here, same key name I am using it over here, right? And now yeah, so here we are using a, this is the important one, guys. So here we are using a synchronous call. Synchronous call means system has to wait until and unless we are not getting a response from this script include. Basically means from this function we are not, until and unless we are not getting a response. Response could be anything like in true or false value. In this case we are using a true or false value, but until and unless we are not getting a response from server, we will not move further basically. Fine. So that is the mean of this get xml wait. This is the synchronous call. Fine. So synchronous call doesn't have any method to pass on. So here we are, once we will get the response, we are checking ajax. This is the only variable I have used it, ajax dot get answer. So this way we can get the answer and what it is coming. If it is coming a false, then we are just making a g underscore clear message, and then we are just adding a error message onto the tickets, right, and returning a false value over here. If it is coming true, then we are returning over here, it will get not, it will not get execute. So it will execute the else one condition. Fine. Hope you are clear with this. So here true and false it is getting, and if it is not 8 itself, then here we are just using a true value. Fine, that is for being a safe zone. Fine. So here message it will display on the ticket. So I hope you guys clear with this. Same script include I have used it for executing the our code over here, right? So here directly I'm using a get parameter to get the incident, and I'm just doing a glide record on this table. So this is the table, guys. If you will just open it in new windows, so this is the table. This is basically a task table I have created, right? So this is attached to that. So I'm just doing a glide record on that table, and I'm just making a active query. If it is an active query means that ticket is already got resolved, right? So if here yeah, I'm just using active. If anyone I'm getting active, if a single record also, then we are returning a false means we have found some open ticket on this main ticket, right? So right now in this case, let me just save this, guys, both. Fine. So now what I'm going to do, so this is the ticket. Right now it is in state is open, and against this ticket we have two tasks attached to there, right? So here we are checking a state. So let me just go it for new one for you. So let me just do it this one. Fine. So this is still in open state and there is no task. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to create one task, and by default it should attach over here. So just submit it. So fine. So this is our main task, sorry, main ticket, incident ticket, and on that incident ticket we have a task attached to that. So let me try to resolve this, because we have written on resolved submit. So I'm just going to click on submit. So as you can see here, it is giving all child tasks in the incident must be closed before closing, right? So this is the message we are getting, because here it has checked, that means a task is open or not. So it find the open, and then it prevent us to save the ticket. Let me refresh it for you. As you can see, still a state is in open state. So guys, if we will not write this time as a get xml wait, then what it will happen, it will check for the this our ajax will call will get called to from the to the server to get the result. In meantime this save functionality also will get called, right? So in parallel, you know that like in parallel two process will run. So save function, if it will get execute earlier than your ajax call, then it will be a problem, right? So in that case we have to make sure, that means we have to wait for this response, then only we can call our save function. So we have make an hold to a save thread, basically, or process, we can say, until and unless we are not getting a response from the server end, right, which we have made a Ajax call. Right now, let me make this close this task, and it should, this time it should get close. So I'm just making it close. As you can see now, active is false now. So this time what I'm going to do, I'm going to resolve the ticket, right? So let me save this. This time system should allow me to save the result. Got it, guys. So now you guys have a clear concept of Ajax call, how we can call, and how we can call a synchronous call and synchronous call, and which scenario, based on which scenario, right? Hope you got each and everything whatever I tried to deliver you. If you have any question, you know where to reach out to me. We have our Telegram group, you can just reach out there. Thank you, guys. Thanks for watching.